Hello friends and welcome to my channel IB All Designing Developer. So like you all know that from the previous videos we have started the new tutorial series of Java in which we have covered up many of the things. Like in the first video I have given you introduction of Java, that why we are starting this tutorial series and what things we will be covering up in this tutorial series moving forward. So in the previous video we have also learned that if we are starting with Java, so what ID we need to use, and basically like how to download things of Java, like the libraries and the things which we will be using in this Java series. So now in this video we will be moving on to our first topic, in which I will be telling you about Java syntax. Basically if you are using any syntax in Java, so how you can use it, why we use it, and basically what's the purpose to use syntaxes in Java. So in this video we'll be learning about syntax. So if you enjoy this video and if you understand that how we can use syntax in Java, so remember to hit a like to this video, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell as well, so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading in future. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's get started. So now here we are on the computer screen, and like I've told you in start that today in this video I will be telling you about Java syntax, and we will be understanding basically if we are working with any syntax in Java, so basically what's the purpose to use. So the main important thing is in this tutorial this Java syntax which we will be highlighting here. In the previous chapter we created a Java file called main.java, and that file which we have created was an online IDE. Then we have used the following code to print hello world to the screen. Means we have printed our first command in the Java which is called hello world, and to create that we have used this public class main, and after that we have used the string class, and then in the end we have added our string as hello world because we need to print that in the output. If you want to understand this example, basically what this example explain you, so every line of code that runs in Java must be inside a class, and the class name should always start with an upper case first letter. In our example we named the class main. So if you are starting with any of your class in Java, if you are writing any class name or if you are creating any class, so the first letter of every class should be capital. Like in Python and in HTML we don't write anything in capital, like we write all the things in lowercase, the first and the last letter as well. But when you are starting with Java, if you are creating any class in Java, so you need to write the class name first letter should be uppercase for that, and the other letters which you are writing of your class name should be like in lowercase. So first letter is really important to be in uppercase. If you're not doing that, so you will be not getting your class running and you will be getting an error. So that's why it's really important to do. And now the note is saying me that Java is case sensitive. My class and my class has different meanings. Means my class in capital and my class in lowercase is having different meaning. The name of Java file must match the class name. When saving the file, save it using the class name and add .java to the end of the file name to run the example above on your computer. Make sure that Java is properly installed. Go to the get started chapter for how to install Java. The output should be hello world. So in the previous video in which we have learned that why we are starting with Java, basically getting started with Java, in which I have told you that how to install Java and basically what IDE which we will be using in this whole tutorial series. We have understand all the things. So if you have not checked that video out, you can just check that video out, which will be clearing a mindset of yourself that if we are working with Java, so how we can install Java basically, and what IDE is really perfect to use Java. So you can just check out my previous video which I'll be giving on the I button. And now if we want to understand basically what's the name of the Java file, like if I'm writing my Java file name as main, like main.java, if I'm saving the file name with, so I need to write my class name as main as well. And if I'm writing my file name as like hello.java, so I need to write my class name as hello. Means when you're writing any file name, so you need to write the same name of your class as well. That's really important to do, because if you're not doing that thing, so you will be getting an error and you will be not getting your class running in the output, and that's really important to do. Then the main method is required, and you will see it in every Java program which you are creating, because it's very important method when you are working with Java. And the method to use it, like with public static void, you can use like this, and any code inside the main method will be executed. Don't worry about the keyword before and after it, because you will get to know them bit by bit while reading this tutorial. And for now we just need to remember that every Java program has a class name which must match the file name, and that every program must contain the main method, like I've told you at the top as well. And if you want to print any system out, so for that you need to just add inside the main method, we can use the printin method to print a line of text to the screen. And for doing that, we can just use main method, and we can use printin method as well, which we have to use inside the main method, and that's really important to do. So now if we start with like this printin method, which we are using inside the main method, so the purpose to use it so that we can get this hello world printed in the printin method in a print line of a text to the screen. That's why we just print this hello world in system.out.printin function. And then it's the note like the curly braces marks at the beginning and the end of a block of the code, and system is built in Java class, and that contains useful members such as out, which is short for output, and the printin method, short for print line, is used to print a value to the screen or a file, and you can use this thing as well. So I hope you understand all these things, and now we will be moving on to our IDE now. Like I have just told you that we will be working with our IDE, which is called NetBeans. So now you need to just move on to this IDE which we have installed here. Now I will be opening it by double clicking on this, or you can just move on to downloads and you can directly download. You can just open from there as well. So I will be just moving on to here, and then I will be just writing like this, and you can just see this NetBeans has been open. I'll be just pressing yes to configure its installation. So it will be taking some time, but not too much, like just some seconds to work with it. Then you can just see it has been installed, and it is saying me that base IDE, Java, SCE, Java, EE, HTML5, JavaScript. You can use all these language in this Apache NetBeans IDE, which is 12.2, and it's the latest version which everybody are using in 2025. And the installation size is 715.7 MB. So you need to understand that if you're installing it, so you need to have some space in your disk as well. So I will be pressing next, and then I will be reading all these things. If you want to read, you can read it. I'll be accepting it, and I'll be pressing next again. You can just search here like where you want to download this. I need to download it in my local disk E. I'll be selecting here. Same goes to here as well, because in my local disk C already I have installed many things, that's why. Alright, so we can just work on local disk D, I think. Here as well, same. Alright, so we need to write a specified JDK folder which does not contain JDK. Alright, so what I'm going to do is now I will be moving on to this PC. We have to select this C here, browse, and then here as well we'll be selecting C. Okay. Alright, so I'll be closing it. We need to press yes. Then I'll be just moving on to my NetBeans here. Open it. And after opening your NetBeans IDE, you can just see we have just installed it, and our NetBeans IDE you can just say it is opening here. So it is just saying me starting modules. So you can just use this version of NetBeans as well, which I have already installed, which is 8.0.2, but I was just installing the latest one, which was 12th version, and that was the version which many of the programmers use in 2025. So I think you can just use this version as well, because this version also contains all the things. And now when you will be opening your NetBeans IDE, first thing you will be getting like this here. So what I'm going to do is I'll be removing all these things here, and then I will be moving on to simple file of Java. So what I'm going to do is I'll be just moving on to this project one, and I will be creating a Java class here. So I will be just writing like Java class, and you can just give your class name. It is not a class, you can say it's a file, but in NetBeans and in like when you're using NetBeans and when you're using any other IDE like Eclipse, so in that you will be called Java file as a Java class. So here I will be writing as main, and then I will be just pressing finish. After pressing finish, you can just see normally we have created a file called as main.java, and this is really simple. To create a file, you need to just press right click on your project, then you have to press new, and after that you have to select Java class. You don't need to select these all things, because these all things are being designed for Java. Like if you are designing anything, if you are creating any application like that, you can just use these all designing things here, but we are not using that. That's why we will be just moving on to with our class here. So now in public class we need to paste all the things which we have copied. So I will be removing this now, because we have added the class now. And then what I'm going to do is simply I will be just moving here, and then I will be just pressing run button to check if I'm getting this hello world here in the string value, so it is printing in my output or not. I will be running it here. After running, you will be seeing that we are getting this hello world printed, but we are not getting here. So what I'm going to do is I'll be pressing Ctrl Z like this. I'll be pasting all the things. I'll be removing this public like this here as well. And now when we are using this system out dot print in, and when we are printing hello world in the output, so we are just getting all the things here like this, and then all the things are working, means hello world is printing in the output. So now I will be moving on to my Word IDE again, and if I'm using any syntax here like this, which is public static void main string, and if I'm using same thing here to print this, so I will be just moving on to my IDE again, and then I'll be pasting this. And then if I run it to check what output now I'm getting here is, so again we are getting same output running, which is perfectly fine as this run. So I hope you understand how we are doing and how we are getting all the things running. If you want to stop macro, so you can just stop it by using the stop button. If you want to start, you can start it, so that you can start with your macro and just you can work with it. So this is the way to use it. I hope you understand that. And if you want to run it, you can just press right click on your file and you can just run the file, and when you're running, you can just see we are getting successfully here written as hello world when we are running it in the print in method which we have used in the main class which we have created. I hope you understand how we are running it here. Now this is the way to use syntax, and the first syntax which we have used in Java, which is called as system.out.println, and this method, or you can say this syntax which we have used is inside the main method, or you can say main class as well. So if you have understand this video in which we have covered up the first syntax of Java of system.println, or you can just say of main method as well. So remember to hit a like to this video, and if you're new on the channel, if you want to see more videos like how we are working with Java and moving forward, what things we will be covering up with Java, so remember to hit a like and subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading in future. So just I'll be meeting you in next project and in next tutorial series. So for today, goodbye.